Okay, hello everyone. I hope you're all doing well. Okay, so let's look at the if-else statement. All right, so the if-else statement is just like the if statement, except that it has another part to it. And that other part is basically the code that runs when your Boolean expression or your condition is false. All right, so let's see how it's written. So it starts off just like the if statement. I'm going to start with an if clause. So let's go ahead and create a program, a test program that is going to test a user's age with, let's say, the value 18. It's going to check to see if the user's age is greater than or equal to 18. If the user's age is greater than or equal to 18, let's display you're an adult. If not, let's display you're a child, something like that. All right, so before that, let's create adult age as a variable, and then let's store the value 18 in there. Then let's create another variable. Let's call it user age, and then let's store the value. Let's say for now, let's store 5 in there. And so our Boolean expression will be something like if the user age is greater than or equal to, again, so this over here is one operator. Okay, we are not. It's not two operators. If you put a space in between them, you're separating them. So this means you're checking to see if user age is either greater than or equal to something on the right, which is adult age. We're checking to see if user age is greater than or equal to adult age. We have our colon, and then I'll hit enter. The block of code that should run or that should execute, it could be either one line of code or multiple lines of code. That is indented. Okay, it's not on the same line. Okay, it's not in line with the if statement. It's indented, and all your code that should run when the condition is true should be indented in the if statement. And it has to be consistent. If there are multiple lines, they all have to be indented in line. We'll talk more about indentation going forward. All right, so if the user age is greater than or equal to adult age, let's go ahead and print out you're an adult. All right, so this is where we see the if-else statement. So this is a regular if statement. Now the else part comes right in line with the if clause. So I'm going to hit an enter here and then type my else here. And I'm going to type my colon, and then what happens, the code that should run when this Boolean expression here is false. So the if clause, okay, matches with the else clause in terms of indentation. Else clause is in line with the if clause. And in the else clause, okay, inside of it is where you basically type your code that should execute when the Boolean expression is false. This line here will run when the Boolean expression here is true, and in the else block is where your code will run if the Boolean expression is false. So if the user age is greater than or equal to adult age, print out you're an adult. Else, then print out you're a child, something like that. You're a child. I wouldn't say you're a child directly. Let's just say you're not an adult for now. Okay, so that's very debatable. I'm not going to go into that. This is just an example. All right, so again, the else clause matches with the if clause in terms of indentation, and then the code that should run, whether this is true, whether the Boolean expression is true or false, should all be indented inside their respective clauses, whether it's if or else. Okay, we'll talk more about indentation going forward, but make sure your code that should run in the if side is indented. Make sure your code that should run on the else side is indented also. If it's multiple lines, they all have to be in line. If there are multiple lines in the if side, they all have to be in line as well. So that's how an if-else works. Okay, so let's run this program and see what happens. Run it, and then it says you're not an adult because user age is 5. And the only time you're an adult will be displayed is when your user age is greater than or equal to adult age. So I'm going to change the user age to, let's say, 78. Run it, and it says you're an adult because the value of user age 78 is greater than or equal to 18. Let's just try a random value here. Let's see, another 3, right? We know 3 is not greater than or equal to 18, right? So when I run the program, it says you're not an adult. So the if-else statement is just like the if statement. What's in the if block will run. Okay, the code that's in the if block will run only if the Boolean expression is true. Else okay, if this is false, if the Boolean expression is false, what's in the else block will run. Okay, and then the program will continue down below anything that continues, or that's below the if statement. It will continue down. All right, so we'll talk more about it. We'll see more examples, more example programs, and we'll use it in future programs and to get a better understanding of it. But this is basically how the if-else statement works. And this is another control structure. We have the if statement, which only runs when the Boolean expression is true. The if-else statement, it runs when the Boolean expression is true. Else, it's going to do another thing when the Boolean expression is false. And we'll talk more about other Boolean expressions, and we'll see more examples of all of them. So if you have any questions, please comment down below, and I'll do everything to respond to them. Thank you very much for watching. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you next time with the next video. All right then, bye-bye.